You are now listening to Moral Beats.
Alright, welcome back. This is Arj from Arj's Game Room, and tonight we are playing Takipsilim. It is a four-part series based on Manila Encounters by Buko Juice Gaming, using the Monsters of the Week game system by Evil Hat Productions. So, recap for part 4. We are getting ever closer to the end of the series. Right now, we are at part chapter 3, The Past, with Iyo, played by Peter. So let us get to our players. Yon. Peter, are you there? Are you there? Hello?
Oh, hello?
Yon. Can you hear me?
Clear naman.
Okay. Uh, okay, so tonight, how are you?
Okay naman, medyo kabado kasi feeling ko maraming mangyayari sa episode tonight. And naka-ready na din yung mga questions.
Wow. Okay, bilis ah. Okay. So welcome back, Peter. So tonight, again, we are going to play Takipsilim. Nasa part 4 na tayo, chapter 3, and this will be we will start with a recap of part 1 to part 3 in the voice of Iwo. So whatever Iwo remembers, and how he feels about um, Ralph and Maria, and the time they were together, and the time that um, they were betrayed. You were betrayed by two of your friends.
Okay. So, previously on Takipsilim, sorry, start na ba ako?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So, yun. So, previously on Takipsilim, a lot has happened ever since dun sa nangyari with Ralph and Maria. So, we went on a lot of missions. There are a lot of memorable moments na na-encounter ko. And one of the things that kumbaga tumatak sa akin is yung time ko with Ralph when we were trying to find when we were on a mission na hindi ko alam yun pala yung dun pala magi-start lahat ng everything leading up to this point kung saan just last session is ang scenario is yun nga kalagitnaan ng play sa school, inatake kami ng mga iba't ibang supernatural beings, manananggal, tikbalang. We discovered a lot of new information. We gained new allies. Dumating si Buhawi, si Ulan, tsaka si Tito Felipe. Pero ang kapalit naman nun, nalaman namin na yun nga, kinuha ni si Maria at saka si Ralph, kinuha nila si Lila para kunin kasi gusto nilang makuha yung kapangyarihan ni Lila. And
Okay.
doon namin nalaman na we were betrayed all this time. So all those things, all those shared memories, basically Iwo or I feel betrayed. Because syempre, initially wala naman akong balak na, kumbaga, as Iwo's character, initially wala naman talaga akong pakialam sa, kumbaga, emotional connection with other people kasi I have my own personal agenda. But then throughout the way, I gained a lot of friends. Natuto akong makihalubilo. Nagkaroon ako ng mga new experience. Pero in the end, very disappointed. Tsaka sobrang nasaktan dahil dun sa nangyari with Ralph and Maria. And also, yun.
Okay.
That's all.
How does it feel to know na yun nga, so when you found out that si Ralph took over, actually nung time ng nung inatake ni inatake ni Lila si Ralph, hindi mo pa actually gets yun nangyayari eh. Pero may part na tumakas sila, may part na nag-explain nga si Ralph. What did you feel? What did Iwo feel at that time?
So, sobrang nagulat, tsaka kumbaga hindi ko alam yung magiging reaction ko kasi nga nagulat nga, kumbaga biglaan yung lahat eh. Kumbaga si Ralph, kung tutuusin, siya yung pinagkakatiwalaan ko sa lahat kasi nga siya yung nag-recruit sa akin doon. So hindi ko alam kung takot akong kumbaga gusto ko siyang atakihin parang gusto ko sanang protektahan yung mga kasama ko pero hindi ko magawa kasi nag-sink in lahat na yun nga, na-discover ko pa na wala naman palang, parang walang kumukontrol sa kanya or walang outside force, na it was all his doing, kumbaga. So parang unti-unting nag-sink in, kaya hindi ako masyadong nakapag-react kasi nga sobrang confused at saka sobrang takot na din, tsaka lungkot. Kumbaga halo-halong emotions na eh. Kumbaga parang na mind block, kumbaga ganun.
Okay.
Ito na pala yung nangyari, ganito na pala. Sobrang bilis kasi nung pangyayari. Kumbaga it all happened within a day or within a night eh. Hindi na siya inabot ng kinabukasan, kumbaga.
Oh, hindi siya inabot ng kinabukasan.
So parang itong ganito, nasa play kami, nagbibiroan pa, nagkakantsawan pa, and then that same night, malalaman ko na, or madidiscover namin na traitor pala sila all this time. They orchestrated everything leading up to this point.
Yes. At this point, you find yourself being led away from the auditorium, from just what happened. You're rushed out by Ulan and Felipe. Wait a second. Okay, so ay kay ano to si kasama mo you're being led away by Tito Felipe and Ulan. You are ano to, you travel out uh, into the ano to parang almost all the way north, no? So uh, during that travel wala kang nagawa but to think of what happened. Yun nga, the time that the time from you met Ralph and everything you just explained, gave us as a recap. So yun, hours na papunta kayo ng ng Baguio, nakatulog ka or either that you're very quiet. Ang nasa sasakyan lang is si Ulan, ikaw at si ay apat kayo, si Tito Felipe, si Ulan, and another tribe member pero hindi mo alam kung ano to, hindi mo siya kilala. And ayun nga, you're quiet all the time, the whole time. Sila Ulan, your companions, wala silang sinasabi. Completely quiet lang sila. They were giving you the space to think. Once you get to Baguio, you enter one of those houses in sa Camp John Hay. And then, di sa Camp John Hay, somewhere inside Baguio na mismo, one of the barangays there, yun, paakyat dun sa bahay mismo, one way na sasakyan. It's a old house. It looks empty when you arrive in Baguio. It is early morning. Meron pang mga the fog has created this very eerie atmosphere. And you were kept in the house for a few more days. Mga 2 days more. Nagkaroon naman kayo ng mga interaction with everybody else in the house. There's just the 4 of you. Pero very minimal. Again, they try to keep their distance from you, they're giving you space. But on the last day, Tito Felipe tells you that uh, uh, there is something that he has to talk to you about, and he tells you you go to the living room. Ayan na to, wait lang ah. Wait lang. Okay. Wait. Yun. Okay, so Tito Felipe sits you down, and he there's a small fireplace there, and he stands near the fireplace, and he tells you that your father has not no, scratch that. Your father is a brother to me and to Ama, and we consider ourselves as a family, and within this brotherhood is everyone becomes part uh, of the tribe, and your father is again part of the brotherhood, so he's also part of the tribe, and we have and him being a part of it as a brother, you are now we are now uh, 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 we are here to give our hand in helping you uh, by accepting you as a brother, as part of the tribe. It would be just proper, and your father would agree. But there are a lot of things that your father missed in teaching you. So you will have to stay with Ama until you're ready to be part and fully trained, and we will initiate you in the family, the brotherhood. They'll pick you up here in a few hours. But I won't be with you. I won't be. I will not be able to see the final the final things that we have to teach you. I think Ama can will be able to um, teach you or guide you. So I have to go and find out more of what is happening in Manila. You have a role. Please roll investigate a mystery. Hello?
Wait.
Yeah. And you got a 7. Okay. With a 7, you hold you may ask the keeper one general question, but based on how you are investigating or how you asked or framed the question, they will tell you honestly and will be reasonable and with reasonable detail what you discover. They'll tell you honestly and with reasonable detail what you discover. So you have one general question.
Ito, Felipe, isa sa mga kanina ko pa inisip yung mga mandadawak is kumbaga hindi sila close sa mga katulad nating kumbabarang or lalo na sa mga parang rogue na supernatural, parang rogue supernatural beings. And paano kayo nagkakilala nila? Paano sila nagkakilala nila Buhawi at si Tito Felipe at saka si Ulan? Hello?
Yeah,
Narinig
I'm still
ba?
here. I'm still here. Si Felipe goes. Party kasi kami, your father and myself. Yung father mo is siya yun eldest son ng head ng mga babarang sa Philippines. Okay? Siya yung panganay and best friend ko siya. But kaya kilala ni one of the reasons why kilala kilala ko si Vito, tatay na kay ang ama ng mga magdadawak ng guardians. They were the they were the first sons, kumbaga, no? Sometimes the yun mga tribes na mandadawak, tribes na manggangaway, mangbabarang, and some of the other supernatural or sorcerer or magic users or witches or whatever you may call them. Sometimes they meet, maybe because they were in the territory of those tribes, pero nangyayari nakikita sila, and a few times nagkita si Vito and your father. Ano ba pangalan ng tatay mo? Ano pangalan ng tatay mo? Hello?
Hello.
Yes. Ano pangalan ng tatay mo?
Hindi ko maalala kung nabigyan ko siya ng pangalan dati. Ama lang ang tawag ko sa kanya.
Okay. Give him a name.
Sebastian. Ayun.
So, si Sebastian at si Vito kikita. Okay. So, that is how kilala ng father si Vito. And Vito, I think, kinotak niya ako. A few days ago. And it was about it was about you and about a rogue manggagaway na he learned na nakuhang information ng mga abhi. So they contacted me and I thought we needed help. So I contacted Ama. Tinawag ko din si Ama at pinadala niya si Ulan. Okay, so that's your question, ano? One general question? Okay.
Yep.
Wala nang follow-up to that question?
Okay naman, na-clear na yung background. Para lang, One question lang naman ako, di ba?
Yeah, you only have one question. Yeah. So eventually, he leaves you, and you get picked up by by Ulan and Ulan and yun other guy. Okay. He introduces himself as Apoy. Ay.
Siya yung isa sa parang kasama namin kanina.
Guwapo siya. Kamukha niya si Derek Ramsey. Kilala mo yun, di ba? Yun, ano to? Yung local actor. Kilala mo ba yun? Si Machete. Hello?
Oo.
Ayan, so.
Yap, kilala ko.
Guwapo siya. He is um, around 19. And then si Ulan is around 18. Okay. They bring you, ano to, you drive off and Ulan doesn't talk to you much. She's quiet. Unlike Apoy. Si Apoy, madaldal. Okay? Hindi naman siya madaldal, but he asks you questions a lot about Manila. Kasi probinsyano siya eh. He lived so the nearest city to him is Baguio. Okay, yun ang nearest city sa kanya. So very curious siya what life is in Manila. So he asks you mga general questions like totoo bang maraming mga iba-ibang lahi na mga girls. And then he asks you yun mga tall buildings, have you tried have you tried jumping on one? Masarap daw yung pagkain in Manila. Ano ba favorite mo dun sa Manila na pagkain? So marami siyang ganun na general questions about Manila. And for the next few hours, ganun lang nangyayari. Interaction lang din yun ni Apoy.
Oo. Parang Greg makulit.
Hindi siya makulit. Hindi siya
Or madaldal lang.
Hindi
Curious,
siya madala. Curious siya.
Curious.
He's not hindi siya kagaya ni Greg na pakialamero. Hindi siya ganun. Very straightforward lang si Apoy. Pero very serious yung face niya. And a lot of the questions sometimes are very childish. Some are parang trying to gauge your reaction. Parang ganun. So, he's not that's where he's different from Greg. So, you have a interaction with him. You may roll investigate a mystery. You can use your special abilities, Di ba you have special moves?
Oo, pero parang hindi siya appropriate. Kasi wait.
You have psychic event, di ba? You may this is only when you act under pressure pala. Tama. You are right. You're right. Okay, go ahead.
Hindi ko alam kung paano parang di ko pa to nagamit before. Yung people and yung fellow believer ito.
Oh, I see it.
For ano lang to, random people lang to.
Random bystander lang. You haven't used this nga. Oh, this is very useful ah.
Investigate. 12.
Wow. You got a 12. So, investigate a mystery. Okay. On a 12 or higher, you get 2 general questions or 1 specific question.
Si Keeper ang kausap ko dito or
No.
si Apo?
You're not. Yes, you are speaking to ano to. You're speaking to. You're now speaking to Apoy. So, siya lang ang pwede mong. There are things that he may or may not know that the keeper knows. Okay, so you now have two general question. Or you may you now have 3 general questions, or you have 1 specific question, or 1 general, or you have 2 specific questions. Kasi madadagdagan ka ng question kasi advance ka na 12 oh. Go.
Aware ba ako kung anong klaseng si Apoy, if mandadawak siya or mga mambabarang din?
Sure. He is a mambabarang.
Sige. Three general questions or 2 specific, 1 general.
Well, it says here kasi you have 2 general questions or 1 specific question. Okay? So, and then you are now given an additional question which can be specific or general.
Okay. So, ito, siguro ano na lang, pwedeng mag-general question muna ako.
Okay.
Then, mag-i-specific ako.
Ikaw bahala. So,
pero parang basta 2 questions.
No, you can actually get, just like I said, you can get, actually pwede ka mag 3 general questions. Pwede yun.
Okay, sige.
Pwede ka mag 2 specific, or pwede ka mag 1 specific, 1 general, or 2 specific. Gets mo ba? Yes.
So, Apoy, bilang sa tingin ko naman matagal ka ng mabarang, alam mo na bang kumbaga kung paano mambarang?
Is that a specific or a general question?
I think general siya kasi parang answerable by yes or no. Alam niya yung ways of mambabarang. Well, I'm asking him if bilang mambabarang siya, marami ba siyang alam na parang mambabarang, alam ba niya kung paano mambarang, parang gano'n.
He looks at you and he feels a little bit insulted. Kasi parang he tells you, hindi ba ako mukhang mambabarang at hindi ako marunong mambarang?
answer ba? Pasensya na kung na-insulto ka. Pero kasi sa paningin ko, um, ang astig mo kasing tignan. Kumbaga, sa paningin ko, hindi ko akalaing mambabarang ka. So, yun lang. Huwag mo sanang masamain. At saka, explain ko din na um, yung tatay ko mambabarang. Pero sa totoo lang,
He sits back and he puts his arms across his chest.
Galit ba siya?
At this point, you don't know. He hasn't answered your question yet. So, sabi niya, oo, marunong ako mambarang.
Yun nga, katulad nga ng sinabi ko, apprentice mambabarang lang ako. Pero ni minsan, hindi ko pa nasubukang mambarang. Aside sa, ayun. So,
Nababarang ka na.
ay, yung parang kumbaga use it offensively, parang ganon. Kasi yung way ko ng pambabarang is nilabas ko si Paul McCartney sa bulsa ko. Ito lang yung tayo kong alam. Kaya kong malaman yung
paglabas niya,
kalagayan.
di ba shell lang siya, parang mukha siyang, una paglabas siya, akala mo para lang siyang shell. Kasi di ba mga Beatles ganun?
Parang nagka-curl sila.
Nagka-curl sila, di ba? Nung pinakita mo siya, magsi-stretch pa siya. Mag-uunat. Naka-shades pa. As, parang saan ba tayo?
Imagine ko yung tsura niya nung Beatle. So, ayun. Pero, never ko pang nagamit yung ability kong, itong abilidad na ito, na natutunan ko para magamit sa pakikipaglaban.
He tells you that ang mambabarang ay hindi lang pag-aaway. He tells you it's not just about combat, but everything you do to help people and to use the skills that your father taught you. Mambabarang ka na nun. Marunong ka na mambarang. But all of us have different ways of different teachers, and there are also traditions. Kami, he tells you when you're surprised when he says this. Nung part pa ako ng tribong isang tribo ng mga mambabarang. So he left a organized sect or tribe of mga mambabarang. That's what he parang gives the that you have in your head, the idea that he was part of another tribe but he left and he joined Ama and this brotherhood. The teachings that we have, and especially before, mostly are traditional. That is what we'll have to teach you now also. Well, I won't teach you. Of course, the instructors will. He tells you that. So, you have lots of questions pa.
Um, questions pa ako. Hindi ko pwedeng i-save tong questions ko for later, no?
No. Sure. Okay. But sige. Make sure that you remember, I won't put it down. Hindi ko i-list yan. So, ikaw mag-list.
Ang naisip ko lang kasi hindi siya yung magtuturo sa akin. Parang naubusan ako ng tanong.
Kasi nga, it was more of who he is, what he does. Kasi nga, siya yung kausap mo eh. So, eventually, you arrive higher in the Sierra Madres. And you reach a very forested area. They take their packs. They take their packs. And you notice that they have, they let you carry some, iba canned food, meron mga noodles, para mga supplies. And they park the pickup, and then linagyan nila ng they cover it with this net that's made out of shrubs, tree branches, leaves, so it camouflages the pickup truck. And they tell you to follow them, and they continue on hours later on. And finally, around in the evening, you're brought to the camp, the main camp, and you're greeted by Ama and Ina. They welcome you, but immediately you are guided by Ina, while Ama speaks to Apoy and Ulan. Another tribes member takes the supplies, and Ina walks you to your hut. You are not spoken to by Ama or by Apoy or by Ulan. Somebody brings you food. There's a hut, no? So and water for cleaning yourself. The next day, Ama greets you in front of your hut, and he... Can you hear me ba?
Yep.
Okay. Clear
Clear
naman, no? Clear. Eto, clear ba to? Clear.
Yes, clear.
Okay. Malayo-layo kasi ako sa mic. So, he tells you that um, uh, to be part of the brotherhood, we have to train you. We have to prepare you for ano to be in the tribe. Being the tribe means being in a family. Um, we are not here to tell you what to do, but usually what uh, everyone does their own thing. But sometimes, it tells you um, people need leaders. And your father, um, unfortunately, was not able to prepare you to be in the brotherhood. Um, I am going to ask you now to name your tribe. I'll give you until siguro later on, maybe if you think of something, we'll use that. But right now we'll just call it your tribe. Okay?
Okay.
Para
Okay.
para while we're playing, you can research din ng konti. So, you now are the next few months, the next few weeks, uh, you are rigorously trained by ama. Sometimes he is accompanied by apoy, and sometimes with ulan. Our training takes you all over the mountains. There is new skills for tracking. They taught you how how to use your powers well, or the skills that you have already, how to use them properly. So eto yung montage, 'di ba, sa mga anime. Magte-training kayo. Tapos magkakaroon pa kayo ng konting laban between the the other students. So there's a training with ulan under a waterfall. Ayun. And then there's a few times na kasama mo naman si Apoy. Unahan kayo to track something, ganun. So, nagkaroon ka na ng interaction with Apoy, Ama, and Ulan. And also, Ina. And a lot more of the people in the tribe itself. Malaki-laki na yun. The tribe is a little bit bigger from the last time you saw it. Now, there are siguro kung dati para mga 20 lang sila, ngayon umabot na sila ng mga 50. No, nadagdagan sila. Oh, ang dami na nila. Okay? Sobrang dami na nila. And many of them are training. some are working, and you notice that there are a lot of things happening a lot of things happening uh, in the tribe. Okay. You now can ask your questions.
Okay. Bago pala yun, may pangalan na pala yung tribo.
Sige.
Yung tribe, Buntok Lumawig.
Okay. So,
So sila yung samahan or tribo ng Buntok Lumawig.
okay. Ano to? So, ayun. Your tribe, your father's tribe actually, hindi ka pa na actually part ng tribe. It's called Buntok Lumawig. So, what are you doing now while you are training with the Buntok Lumawig?
I'm researching more on how to use yung abilities ko or powers. Most especially, pwede ko na bang i-apply kasi pwede na bang i-update yung skills or yung okay, so in-update ko kasi. Ngayon, yung isang dinagdag ko is Guardian.
Let me check.
Ito. So, parang instead of taking, kumbaga, siguro dalawa na yung ginamit kong, pinagpilian ko yung Adept, Sorcerer, or Guardian. Ang kinuha ko na lang is Guardian since I think mas makakatulong siya. So basically parang may power din yung Chosen, Guardian, or Cryptid.
Okay. But you have to describe this.
Okay.
Kasi nakalagay dito, define them and their powers.
Okay. So yun nga, si Paul, siya yung medium kumbaga, or siya yung siya yung kinokontrol ko si Paul, pero tapos si Paul ang parang insectomancer, parang ganon. Yung kaya niya mag-harness ng siguro hindi lang siya yung insect, kumbaga
Parang
kaya na niyang
sino yun sa Naruto?
Yung insect.
Oo.
Kalimutan ko na,
So anyway, but this is you have to define the guardian first.
Ayun, yun nga. Yun
Okay.
na yung kumbaga pinaka-form niya. Meron siyang parang grayish aura kasi
first is it says kasi here their look is one of invisible, an intangible spirit thing, a weird creature, disguised as an animal or disguised as a person. So disguised as an animal, or in this case an insect.
Oo.
Okay.
Tama. Yun.
So it's disguised as an insect, and what else?
Insect. Weird. So parang weird creature na rin siya kasi nga.
No, you only have to pick one.
Okay. So bang weird creature yun?
Okay. Pero
Kasi,
hindi weird. Pero if they look like a bug, so they all look like bugs. That's not weird creatures. Unless
nagsasalita kasi.
Unless weird creature means they are a little bit human-like.
With human-like, wala may yung with human-like expressions.
Kasi hindi. Kasi sa sa bugs life, mukha talaga silang bugs. Sa ants, mukha silang tao na ants. Gets mo? You
Oo.
understand what I mean? Di ba? So, eto, um, it feels like they are uh, anamorphic, anamorphic,
Anthropomorphic
anthropomorphic,
beetle.
insects.
Insect. Oo.
So, write it down dito sa Guardian. Okay? Ano yun? And then define their powers.
Wait lang. Anthropomorphic insect. Cat.
Okay. Ah Sige,
Nag-update ba?
hindi siya nag-update sa akin. Pero it's okay. It's no problem. You can update that anytime. Just make sure that you write it down there. Baka makalimutan natin.
Yep.
And then, define their powers. Okay? Pero kasi, you kind of have to define their powers now because you have a question. You have a question that concerns the Guardian, right? Okay. So, yung Guardian mo, Guardian mo si Paul McCartney, di ba? Tama?
Tama. Siya na yun. Ang weird. Ang weird.
Okay.
Kala mo pumasok kasi yun ang pinala ko.
So, you know what he reminds me of? Parang si Jiminy Cricket.
Ay, oo. Yung...
Di ba sa Pinocchio? Anyway, so you kind of have to define the powers. Pero can you continue with the question before you define the powers?
Okay. Yung question, sino kausap?
What question is this? Is a general question or is this a specific question?
Kay Apoy.
No.
Ba?
Oh yeah. Different pala yun, no? Different pala yun. Kay Apoy lang yun questions na yun.
Yeah.
Am I right? So, you now, you are going to roll investigate a mystery again. But you may use, you also have alternative weird moves. You have empath, right? And sensitive. So, empath is you open up your brain to feel the emotions of something right here in front of you. Okay? And then you also have sensitive. You open up your brain to the psychic environment. Okay? These are alternative weird moves which
I think sa ano lang yun nag-a-apply sa baba, yung psychic event. Or pwede ko siyang gamitin as an action.
Ay, yeah. Why do I keep on thinking this is this is automatic for you? It's psychic event nga pala, no? I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. So, ayun. Just roll a investigate mystery then. And what did you get?
9.
Okay, a 9. Okay. Ask the keeper one general question based on how you are investigating. They'll tell you honestly and with reasonable detail what you discovered. You may roll one more time.
Isa pa?
Yeah. What'd you get?
7.
Okay, that's practically the same. Ilan yung kanina?
9.
9.
7.
So, 7 and 9. So, you have 2 general questions. Okay? You can now ask Ama and you can ask Ama, or you can ask Apoy. Okay?
Si Ama na lang muna.
Okay. So, you have 2 general questions. Diba you had question about your powers? Or
Yan po.
are you going to change your question?
Well, dun sa powers ko kasi, kasi considered as magic
Ay, wait.
ba siya?
Can you roll one more time pala? One more time. Sige.
9.
Okay, 9. So that means you get another general question.
Okay, so 3 general questions.
So these 3 general questions are your interaction with Ina, Ama, and Ulan. You kind of have a lot of questions already for Apoy kasi maganda yung role mo for Apoy. Okay? So, sakto. You can not speak to Apoy and put 2 general questions to Ama if you want. Okay? Or you can separate all 3 questions for the 3 NPCs. Or you can ask Ulan 2 general questions. Or Ama, you can ask him all of your general questions. Gets mo? Okay. So right now I need to pee. So I will let you think of those questions for mga 5 minutes. Okay? And then I'll be right back.
Okay, sige.
Hello. Dito na ba si Peter? Wala pa. Okay.
Wait lang. Mga 2 minutes pa. Niisip ko lang yung
Ang sabi ni Laum, ni Patrick, Aburami clan. Tapos si
Shino, tama
Shino.
nga si Shino. Yung naka-shades.
Alam mo ano to? Nakakatawa dito. Just to get some anime references. Yung tribe ng mga mambabarang, para silang Naruto. Yung mga clans sa Naruto.
O na nag-specialize in different techniques ba yun?
So different, iba-iba. Sa sect naman nila Laum, sa Guardians, para sila yung mga Ah,
Parang
yun sa
agency ba
Bleach.
yun?
Sa
Sa
Bleach.
Bleach.
Mga parang Soul Society.
Hindi. Iba yung Soul Society eh.
Ay, iba ba?
Yung sa Quincy's.
Yeah. Ay, hello. Sa Quincy's.
Astig.
So ganun yun to. Parang yun. Ang tawag dun, inspiration. Okay. So, what are your questions? Nakaisip ka na ba?
Oo. Dun sa kumbaga para na rin kasing magic yun, di ba? Yung sa guardian ko. So parang basically natutunan ko yun dahil sa kanila.
No.
Ganun ba yun?
Did you just get it ba? Hindi eh. Nakuha mo na si Guardians matagal na, di ba? Si Paul.
Pero I mean yung parang power up niya, kumbaga power up niya to eh kasi hindi ko na gamit ito nung last time. Yung pwede siyang magtawag ng kapwa insekto niya, mga ganun.
So bago lang to. Yung bagong
bago
skill lang to. Yeah, sige. Yun, it's this guardian, no?
Mm-mm.
Pero etong guardian na to is one creature lang. So it's just one creature. So if he becomes let's say a swarm. 'Di ba sa Naruto, yung swarm hindi naman isa-isa yun eh. Paminsan parang isang creature na rin yun eh, 'di ba? So
pero parang iisa lang yung nagko-command or parang silang hive mind.
Parang silang hive mind. So if ever si Paul changes into a swarm, it's just one. It's just Paul. Gets mo?
Okay.
He can turn into very smaller parts kasi small insects. He can become a hive if he wants. Pero if something damages any of parts of the hive, madadamage siya. Parang ganun. Okay? So, anyway, yes, this is the time you will learn about the power how to use your guardian. Sige, go ahead. Is this the questions? Ito na yung
meron
question.
bang small considered as magic ba siya, big magic or small magic na kailangan ko ng preparation or parang
Which one, the guardian?
I have to
No.
activate yung
No, it's automatic eh.
Okay.
It doesn't kasi it doesn't say here that you have to call it. You have to use magic. Kasi this one is move mo to eh.
Okay, gets clear na. Yun lang naman kasi parang
Wait,
parang
is that a general question?
mag-question sana siya pero parang general question sana siya. Hindi ko alam kung kanino ko tinanong.
Okay.
Clarify ko lang sana una.
Okay. So si Paul, kasi since you're asking, ako na mag-define a little bit kay Paul. So si Paul, yung guardian mo is not big magic, it's not also use magic. It's like a passive skill. Palagi siya nandyan. So pwede mo siyang tawagin anytime. He'll physically be there and there will always be he will just tell him what to do and you will be able to use him. Okay, ngayon you now can you roll a okay, so since it's very vague to, It doesn't say how many powers exactly your creature has, or what
Mm-mm.
moves it has. Okay, it doesn't say how many. It says here, um, uh,
Kermit's powers eh. So, hindi ko
define
din
them
sure
and
kung
their
ilan yung
powers.
pwede.
Okay. Um,
Kala ko, nagtatransform si Paul bilang bubuyog na kasing laki ni Jollibee.
Nagiging Jollibee bigla.
Jollibee.
Grabe.
Hindi, ikaw naman bahala paano yung powers nila eh. So,
Mm-mm.
at this time during the training, okay? During the training, you get to use him a few times. So, natututunan mo paano siyang gamitin. So, if you already have ideas ano yung mga powers nila, ang powers niya, just write it down here so that you don't forget. You don't have to define it now. Just write down what you think na meron siya, and then we can slowly build up ano yung mga powers ni Paul. Okay? I think that is not a general that shouldn't be part of any of your questioning, because it's just a definition lang. Dinidefine lang natin yung isang move mo, which dapat talaga i-define natin yan kasi importante siya, but it's not a question for any of the three.
Okay. So, sige, yung i-ano ko na lang muna yung question ko para kay andito si Felipe.
No, hindi
Dito
nga siya
Felipe.
kasama, remember?
Ay,
umalis
oo
siya.
nga pala, ang kasama ko lang si Ulan, si Apoy, si Ama, si Ina, yung kumbaga yung kaharap ko ngayon.
Oo.
Okay. So, nung gabi or nung araw na, ito na yung question ko
General question to
general question. Wala akong specific. So yun.
You have specific questions pero para kay Apoy.
Hindi ko alam kung considered as general question to, pero
I'll just ask the question and answer it the way as general as possible without giving away specific details. Sige, tanong mo lang.
Okay. So, nung gabi na kinuha nila Ralph yung kapangyarihan ni Lila, kasi hindi naman lingid sa kaalaman nyo na si Lila is isang ano nang tawag sa Lila? Danag. Isa siyang danag. Naging, kumbaga, nakuha din ba ni Ralph yung pagiging danag? Parang gano'n. Naging danag din ba si Ralph nung kinuha niya yung kapangyarihan ni Lila?
Who are you asking? Si Ama.
Si Ama na. Siya na yung parang may pinakamaraming alam eh.
Actually, he tells you it's best if you ask Ina.
So,
sabi niya, pag mga spells, when it comes to the powers of mga makukulam, best to ask the one of the best trained mangkukulam. Si Ina.
sige. So, ayun.
So, Ina, my question here is that, do you remember what the words were that were coming out of the um, words that were coming out of the mangkukulam, what was written, if you remember completely the spell, and if you remember completely ano yung nangyari, okay, roll act under pressure. So this will determine if she answers you generally or with a little bit of specifics, depending on your role. Is how well she will answer you.
7.
Okay, 7. Alright. So 7. You remember two things in the spell during that time. The clearest that you can remember is the words that the sisters were chanting, and the sinuntok mo ba yun wall? Hindi, no? Si Lila pala sumuntok. You remember the words, or you remember or you are completely focused on the words of Ralph. Okay? Now, since meron ka dito, hard choice to. Right? It's a hard choice. You remember the words to the spell, and it can give her a answer with a little bit more specifics, or you suddenly segue and remember the words that Ralph was speaking to you when he was doing his monologue, and Ina will be able to tell you kung the way he was standing, his aura and stuff like that. So two different memories, also two different type of answers.
So, parang to be clear lang, yung isa, yung spell, remember ko yung some of the words sa spell. Madidetermine niya kung, kasi nga, bangkukulam siya.
Oo.
Pero kung yung words ni Ralph, madidetermine yung aura ni Ralph.
What he's feeling, what is,
basically what he is, tama ba?
Yes!
Okay, hard choice nga. Pero hindi ko alam kung paano i-undo yung spell.
That's a different question. You never
okay.
asked that.
Okay. Sige. Ito na lang yung first dismissive question.
Which question?
So, yun na yung latter part, yung si Ralph.
Okay.
Na-remember ko kasi yun, mas nakafocus ako kay Ralph.
She tells you that at that moment, Ralph has gained unimaginable, uh, uh, a power that he never had before. He is now, in our terms, a supernatural, and to others, maybe a monster.
So, more like, ano siya, kumbaga, entity, kumbaga, undefined kung anong klase siyang, basta supernatural siya, hindi siya danag. Tama ba? Hindi siya naging part danag or parang hindi niya nakuha yung weakness ng danag or something like that.
General question, di ba?
Ay, oo nga palang, specific nun. Okay, so yun. Second, so yun, nasagot na yung question. Okay. So, base sa pagkakaalala ko, pwede bang pwede bang ma-break yung spell?
Are you still speaking with ama or ina?
Or ina na. Kumbaga, sa kanya na lahat. Itotodo ko na lang sa kanya lahat. Kasi na-realize ko siya pala yung may mas maalam sa spells and all that. So, yun na lang.
Ano, can you ask me again?
Sorry,
Can you ask
pwede
the question again?
pwede bang masira yung spell na ginamit nila? Kumbaga, tanggalin ulit yung pwede ba naming tanggalan ng kapangyarihan si Ralph?
She tells you once a spell is cast, the magic is already already affected the world. So it is almost impossible to reverse it. But obviously, as a nerd of movies and stuff, you know that's not true.
Oo.
Second, she tells you that spells have certain ingredients, and sometimes those ingredients, if not if in a big spell, if not all of those ingredients were correct, the effects could be something big. It would be something that the caster wanted as an effect, or there would be a glitch or a something in return. Something happens, something bad, and spells are permanent. So spells are permanent and are done as soon as it is cast. Right? Like she said, the only time to be able to disrupt a spell or to destroy it is um, uh, during or while it is being cast. That's your answer to your general question. What was your answer? What was your
Okay.
question? If
If pwedeng ma-undan yung spell or ma-break yung spell,
ma-break yung spell.
baga parang yung kasi nga 'di ba all powerful na si matanggalan siya ng kapangyarihan, parang gano'n.
She gave you a lesson in magic. She didn't actually really give you the spell itself or where to get it, or if there is a spell
Pero
like
nabanggit niya. May na-realize lang din ako eh.
Oh,
Kasi 'di ba sabi niya pag may hindi parang baga sa isang big magic or big spell na may maraming components, pag may isa doon na mali or parang may hindi tama doon sa procedure, may pwedeng mangyaring negative effect or parang baka may glitch. Yun nga, may glitch. Wala lang, na-realize ko lang, di ba dapat mamatay si Lila nung time na yun kasi nga, basically yung spell is transferring yung soul into another vessel, ganyan. So yung
okay, so ayun. So you realize something. But she didn't she didn't answer it to the specific spell. Gets mo?
Okay, so parang nagmamumble na lang siguro ako sa sarili ko nung na-realize ko yung ala, ang galing. Wala lang. Ano pa ba? Third na to, tama? Itong tatanong ko, third na.
Yeah, third na. But you still have an option to ask Apoy. May questions ka pa rin kay Apoy. So, if you want,
basta i-reserve ko na lang yung tanong ko mamaya. Kaya po, kasi
sige,
wala pa
no. I'm sorry. Go right ahead. Ask your question. Go.
Okay. So, may pwede ba akong gawin para nabanggit niya kanina na all powerful or parang immeasurable, ayun naman, basta sobrang makapangyarihan na si Ralph.
I changed that eh. Hindi naman unimaginable power. He gained a power.
Power na
a strong power. She didn't say that it was all, super strong or anything. But she just gave it is a strong power.
Okay, so is there a spell or a ritual na pwedeng kumbaga tumapat sa kapangyarihan ni Ralph?
You're going to ask her general question, so she's going to answer generally. Wait, give me a sec.
Last question ko na ba to? Or may
Yes, that's your last question.
Okay. Yung question ko kaya po wala na.
Hindi. Meron ka pa naman. Pero sabi mo kasi, di ba, i-hold mo muna yun.
Hold ko muna pala. Or pwedeng wag ko na lang tanungin si Apoy. Tapos itanong ko na lang kay lahat. Kay Ina lahat.
Hindi pwede eh. Kasi yung role na yun was for Apoy.
Okay, sige.
Oh, remember.
Sinubukan ko lang naman.
Baka sakali lang na lumusot.
Oo.
So she tells you that wait. She answers. She answers, yes, there is.
Okay. Okay.
Alright. Do you still have questions with Apoy?
Apoy. Matutulungan mo ba ako para hanapin yung paraan para...
Wait, is this a general question or a specific question?
General na lang. Pag answerable by yes or no, or parang itong tanong ko, tatanungin ko na lang tapos ikaw na bahala kung gaano ka specific or gaano ka general yung
sige.
or yung sasagot. So yun, matutulungan mo ba ako para hanapin or matutunan paano matatalo si Ralph?
You're asking him a question, You're asking him a question. You're not asking for help.
Sorry, hindi na pala. Iba pa pala. Ito na lang. Apoy, sa tingin mo ba maliligtas pa natin si Ralph? Yung expression ng mukha ko medyo nalungkot na parang naiiyak.
That's a general question. He doesn't answer.
He can't answer.
No, it's not that he can't. He doesn't. And that gives you a lot of that answers either pwedeng no, pwedeng yes, maybe.
Okay, sige.
So it's a general question.
Okay, yun na yung mga tanong ko.
You have one specific question. You have tama. That's it. That's all your questions for Apoy. Alright. Make sure at this time you define three of Paul McCartney's powers.
Okay. Sige. So yung first
You write it down Isulat mo na lang dun sa to.
Yep. Pero habang nire-write down ko,
Yes, go right ahead.
So, one of yung powers ni Paul McCartney is yun nga, anthropomorphic insect siya that can multiply or divide. Kasi ang nilagay ko dito, he can parang summon other insects bukod sa kanya. So, hindi siya
he becomes a swarm. Swarm of insects.
It can become
a swarm of insects. So in D&D terms, one creature siya. Pero mahirap siyang tamaan dahil marami sila. Pero isa lang buhay niya. Okay.
Isa pa is parang isang naisip ko na pwede niya maging powers is he can be any insect.
He can be any insect.
Kumbaga, pwede siyang swarm of centipede, swarm of ano ba?
Basta insect.
Basta insect.
Basta insects.
So parang yung first, parang ito na rin pala yun.
Oo. So he can change into a swarm of insects, of different type of insects. Pero iisang insect lang, hindi iba-iba. Gets mo? Hindi pwedeng beetle, tapos mga beetles, tapos part of him are grasshopper, parang ganun. No, just one type of insect lang pwede.
Yun nga sana yung second niya, parang pwede siyang kumbaga swarm na siya ng
No, that's what I'm telling you. Kasi approval din ng keeper yan eh. 'Di ba? May approval yan eh. There is one here, it says there, define them and their powers with the keeper's agreement. So I disagree that he can change into different types of a swarm of different types of insects. So he can only change as one as a swarm of one type of insect.
Sige.
Mare lahat grasshopper or lahat locusts.
Pero hindi siya pwedeng different types.
Yes.
Basta,
yes.
Or I have to think of one type of insect lang. Or one insect tama ba? One type of insect lang siya, or pwede siyang mag-transform into a swarm of one type of insect at a time.
What do you mean at a time?
Kumbaga parang ngayon, kumbaga sa fight na to is kaya niyang mag-transform into swarm of
let's say grasshoppers.
And
then
pero
later on
magiging swarm of centipede siya, parang
pwede. Ganun. Pero one type lang.
Okay, gets. So, yun na, nasagot na yung question ko. So, yun na. Second is
you forget the guardian, hindi siya nauubos. No? Hindi siya nauubos. Para siyang NPC. You are actually creating an NPC right now. So ano pa? One more. Actually two more yun.
Two more.
So nagiging swarm siya of one type of insect. What else?
Iniisip ko kung anthropomorphic na kasi siya.
He can change in any type of insect. You forgot
that. Yun yung kina-clarify ko kanina, pwede siyang kunwari beetle siya, rhinoceros beetle siya ngayon, tapos magiging bubuyog siya at one time.
He can do that. That's what ang ine-explain ko kanina is that may power siya maging swarm of one type of insect. So he'll become a swarm. And then he also he has a power to change his forms of any one insect. Hindi swarm. Guess mo?
Okay. Yun yung second. Tama.
So, lang. He becomes one insect. Any type of insect you want. And he can change to a swarm of insect, pero one type of insect lang. So, second power niya yun. So, ano yung third power niya?
Viable ba pwede siya magkaroon ng human form?
No, because he is a weird creature already.
Okay. Tanong ko. Pwede ba siyang kung kasama ba yung kunwari poisonous insect?
Any type of insect. If it's an insect,
okay.
it's an you can change it that insect.
Okay.
You can't decide yet. Okay, so
Hindi pa ako makadecide kasi
okay.
parang nandun na yung kumbaga nandun yung pinaka-useful power niya. Yung pwede
so
siya.
let's see. We might think of something on later on. So as a weird creature, it turns into different type of insects. Ano size niya? So when he becomes that one anthropomorphic insect, how big is he? Palm
Parang
size
yung
lang?
Hindi since para na siyang mas yung size ng siguro doll. Paano ba yung size ng mga 1 foot tall? 12 inches?
Parang siyang G.I. Joe?
Parang
yung lumang G.I. Joe na doll. So, malaki siya. 1 foot siya eh. 12 inches siya eh.
Parang ganun na.
Malaki nga siya. So, he can't stay on your shoulder. So, parang na siyang Pokemon.
Hindi kasi naibubulsa ko siya eh.
Malaki siya.
Sa bagay, anthropomorphic kasi siya.
Now, can he change his size?
Ayun. Oo, tama. Yun na yung third.
Because he can change his size. But he has to have a limit. He has to have a limit.
Size, since nagiging swarm na siya, yun nga, pinaka-limit na niya is yung parang 1 foot. Pwede ba yun?
So he can become a large uod na 1
foot.
1 foot wide
haba.
or haba or a beetle that's 1 foot in size. Parang ganun na.
Nakakatakot no.
Diba?
Or spider. Parang ganun.
So para
pero
siyang
at some point, pwede
parang nga siyang Pokemon.
Ang cute. Tapos human-like emotions, yung facial reaction.
Anthropomorphic nga lang siya. So
Okay, yun na.
Hindi na lang siya hindi na lang siya anthropomorphic creature. Mukha na lang siyang Pokemon. Yun na lang. weird creature eh. Weird creature. So he looks like Pokemon. Change depende dun sa insect that you want him to become change into.
Pero may main form siya, yung parang Heracross siguro.
Yun main form siya. Sure, just give him a ikaw, kung may main form siya, go ahead. Ano gusto mong main form? Yung main form niya, yung beetle kanina.
Actually, yun na lang eh. Yung beetle kanina.
Okay,
pero
sige.
Parang ito, parang mas comedic yung may mas comedy factor yung itsura niya kanina eh.
Sige. So he looks like the beetle from from
Bug's Life.
A Bug's Life.
Pero hindi na siya anthropomorphic, no? Yung nakatayo. Sabihin ko sana eh.
Nakatayo na siya. Ngayon nakatayo na siya. Tumatayo siya. Sometimes he crawls, pero most times he stands up. So parang he stands up with his 2 legs, tapos yun upper 2 arms niya, ano ba na yan? Stuff like that. Okay. So that's Paul McCartney. Pokemon talaga eh. What else? Where were we? Okay, so I made you define Paul McCartney, your guardian. Okay?
Pag ba nagsasalita siya, isang word lang din.
Hindi. Nagsasalita to eh.
Nagsasalita talaga siya. Boss pa nga ang tawag niya eh.
Boss.
Okay na, boss.
Sabihin ko sana sabihin lang niya, let it be, let it be, let it be.
Pangit!
Biglang kumakanta, no?
Kung yun, parang anagram ng Beatle, di ba? Pag
Alang iya. Okay. Tapos kulay dilaw siya, no? Mukha siyang submarine. Nabitin. So, anyway. So, a few weeks pass. Alright? Sobrang busy mo. Hindi ka na nakatawag dun sa mga kay Iwo. Kay Iwo. Kay Laum. Kay Lila. Kay Gian.
Tsaka si Zed.
Yun si Zed. Hindi mo sila na-contact. You're so busy finding out what's happening. Hindi mo sila naisip to ask them how they were or call them. On your siguro mga third week mo or almost your yung monthsary ng training mo. It's around March na. Early March. And Apoy calls you. Tawag ka sa tent ni dun sa tent ni Ama. And you leave, and as soon as you've seen this before, you know the tent, nag-iba lang yung area. Okay? This time there are 2 guards in front of the tent, and they let you in. And as you enter, there is a meron campfire sa gitna, and seated on the floor smoking rolling his own cigar. Roll niyang ganon, and dinalight niya, and it's Tito Felipe. On the other side of the fire, to your right, it's Ama, and he is seated down. He's sitting down on one of the sa banig. You see him, meron siyang baso ng meron siyang hawak na bote ng Red Horse. Red Horse. And umiinom siya ganun. What do you do?
Una kong tinanong is, kamusta si Zed? Kung may balita ba siya kay Zed?
He tells you, okay lang si Zed. Huwag ka mag-alala. And he asks you to sit down. um, pinag-usapan namin ni Ama na sabi niya, ready ka ng you are ready for your final training. It will be a test of all the lessons that we taught you this past few weeks, and combine that with your father's training, your father's previous training. Ready ka na? Para makapasok ka sa tribo ng bundok lumawig. He Amas interjects and he tells you, usually ang ginagawa namin, babalik ka sa unang bundok na sa Mount Makiling para ma-initiate ka sa tribe. Pero there but meron there is something happened and a development concerning information about your father's death. We believe that we found the monster who killed your father. Now, we thought that it would be best if to let you know about this before you continue with your final test. Tito Felipe, he puffs and it gets into your face, and he interjects with Ama. Sa tingin ko, dapat ang huling ano ang Tagalog na test? Ang huling huling pagsusubok.
Or pagsusulit.
Hindi, pagsusulit exam 'yun eh. So pagsusubok sa kanyang huling pagsusubok ay hanapin niya at i-track down niya Yun pumatay sa ating kaibigan, sa ating kapatid. And si ama just parang he shakes his head. And he looks at you, waiting for a decision or a question or an answer to Tito Felipe's to your Tito Felipe's tawag dun, your Tito Felipe's interjection question. What do you do? Do you make them decide for you? Do you
Sabi nyo,
you don't
Ay, sorry.
care of what happens, or do you want to do something? Anong
Okay.
gagawin mo?
sabi nyo may impormasyon na kayo kung ano ba talaga or sino talaga ang pumatay sa tatay ko.
Alam niya kung nasaan.
Isa ito sa mga tanong na matagal ko na hinahanap. At ngayon, alam ko na parang nakita ko na kumbaga meron na akong impormasyon kung saan or kung may mapagkukuhanan na ako ng impormasyon. Pinapapili niya ba kung uunahin ko yun or pupunta muna ako sa pagsusulit?
Hindi.
Ano ba ako?
The question is if papayag kang yun paghahanap or to track down and capture the creature to be your last test.
Sa tingin ko, mas magkakaroon ng kumbaga kapayapaan pag malalaman ko kung sino or paano nga sino at paano sino yung pumatay sa tatay ko.
So, do you agree?
Mm-mm.
Si ama
Pero
stands up and narinig mo parang may cooler ng yellow. Kumuha ulit siya ng Red Horse. Click. He opens he opens 3 bottles. And nung pabalik na siya, doon mo sinabi. Pero ano? Hello?
Ay, hello. Sorry.